All right, welcome back, everybody. So this is one that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. This was during my trip in Italy, and this is what we did all week long, testing products, and this is how we did it. So what you're going to see is that we picked the top primers that they had and top coats and special effects, and what we did was we sprayed each one of them out. And we compared and contrasted all of them, deciding what the best options would be to bring back to the United States for you guys to enjoy and up your game. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I want to give a special thanks again to everyone at Renner Italy. And also a very big thank you to Marco and Daniel at MK Sales for making this possible. Again, I just want to reiterate that, you know, all this stuff that they do basically benefits everyone in the North American market, because they are actually the ones that were standing side by side with me looking at all these products, you know, for an entire week. This is what we did, 8 hours a day. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get to it. All right, so my favorite part of the trip so far, we are doing some testing. We got several things going on here. So what we're doing is we've got 4 different primers that we are looking at how they sand, and then also how the top coat goes over each one of them. And then we're going to compare them all and look at the differences between each one. So the first one we have is 696, which is a single and a dual component product. This one is catalyzed. We have the 548, which is just a single component primer. We have the 643 2K, and then we have a new one, the 648, which is sort of a way I would explain it would be a cross between the 602 and the 643. So what we have here is we're looking at several different products of the vertical hang, and we take our finger and we run it through it, and we're going to see how much it sags. So here we have 831 at 5 mils. This is 765 at 8 mils. This is 765 at 5 mils. And then I shot one at 12 mils. So we're pushing the extreme here. Now if we walk over here into the oven, we have the same primer set up, the 548, 643, 694, 548, 643, and 648. And then we have different top coats on each one. We have 831, we have 765, and then we also have 831, and we're going to compare and contrast all those, and we'll show you that a little bit later. All right, so one thing that's very important that we're doing here is that we're using a scale to weigh our parts. We zero them out, and then we're applying the same amount of finish and primer to each panel so that we can get a controlled sample, so that when we look at it, that we're seeing the most accurate representation of the coating, so we're not piling one on more than the other. So what we do is we take our panel, we set it on here, and we zero it out. And then based on the testing that they've already done, we apply about 8 grams to the panel, and we'll weigh each one of them and make sure we're good before we put it over there to dry. So now we're going to take a look at a single component product, the 831. And I'm going to come over here to the scale, zero it out, and make sure that when I spray it, I'm hitting 8 to 8.5 grams. Got it zeroed out. $8.5. Now we're going to apply the 688 otherwise known as the CV killer. And I'm going to try to hit that 8 to 8.5 grams. More. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing, spray the 688, but we're going to do it in a vertical application. Again, I'm trying to hit that 8 to 8.5 grams. .8. Good. Okay, so now what we're going to do with the 688 is I'm going to take my finger and do a swirl mark in it, and then we're going to measure how much the sag is. All right, so now we're looking at a couple different sealers and top coats. What we have that we're shooting now is 653, which is a high build. Then we have 674, which is a 1K, 2K. And then we have a new one that, if I'm lucky, they're kidding around, maybe naming it after me, which is my birthday, 321. So we're going with that for now. The top coats that we're applying on these, we have 3 different top coats. We have the Tin Sheen 851 2K. We have the PL005 Soft Touch, and then we have the 709 Silk Effect. All right, everybody, so I'm going to do a recap of what we've done the past 2 days. As you can see, all the panels here that we've shot and compared to contrast, and I'm going to go through each section and talk about it with you. I think I counted about 120 panels that we have here. All right, so I'm going to come over here and we're going to start with a hybrid system that we did yesterday, and we did all of this in one day. So what we did was we used the high coat, and then on this panel here we have the PL005 Soft Touch. And so what we did was basically do a full grain fill. We did 1 coat of high coat, waited an hour, sanded it, another, and then we put our top coat on it. Now, a lot of people have asked about the high gloss. So we actually, this morning, buffed this out so that you can see what this looks like. And again, this was all done in a single day, and then we just waited overnight. Here's another panel we did with the 790 high gloss. All right, moving along over to here. Same thing here. This is the PL005. This was a panel that was already made that we shot. And then this one we did it over a pigmented so that we could see what it was going to look like and feel like over a pigmented surface. And then this one's really cool. This is a special effect where you spray it, let it dry for an hour, and then you take a roller that has like an alligator pattern on it, roll it out, and then this has the 790 high gloss on it. Then we took this one that already had high gloss on it, and we put the soft touch on this, and if you guys could feel this, this feels like suede or actual leather. Pretty cool effect. All right, moving down through to here. These right here were panels that we shot with 709 on them. Basically different sealers. This is more soft touch we did with various sealers on each one of them to see which sealer worked the best. And when we get over here, I'll explain that a little bit more when we have the different sealers. And then these right here are different special effects that we did. Okay, so I want to stop and talk quite a bit about this one here. So what we did here is you have the 321, which is named after me currently. We have the 653, and we have the 674. Okay, so what's important about this that we did was we were trying to see what the difference was between each one and how they were affected by sanding. Also, what we would do is we would hold them up to the light and look to see how the top coat standout is. Now, when I talk about top coat standout, it's how much does it, I guess a good way to explain it is like the puffiness of it, and it will change the look of the top coat. So we wanted to see in different situations what would be the best sealer to use underneath different products. And it will change things radically depending on which product you use. So for me personally, my favorite combination was the 321. So I'm glad that mine came out on top. And then next I like the 653 and then the 674. To me, the reason why I chose that I like the 321, it had excellent top coat standout. The sandability is a lot easier. So basically it's going to give you more feel. So what happens is when you put it onto the surface, it really makes the top coat feel even smoother than it was to begin with. Now, if you were looking for something that was like a tighter to the grain, you might want to try the 674 or the 653, and it has a tighter to the grain look. It all depends on the aesthetic look that you want to try to achieve. So we did something similar with the white. We did 831, 765, 851, 688, 005, and 709. Now these were over various primers as well. We would have the 648, 653, and 647, I believe. Let me check myself on that. 694. So my favorite combination here was the 688 and 648, which is a new 2K primer that they have. The 643 is still, good, but my two top picks would be 688, and then on top coat would be 765. Now, while we're talking about the 765, what we also did was every one of these sealers and top coats, we also did a vertical application on it. So while we're talking about the 765, we did one where I put on 12 wet mills. Let me find it right here. So this is the 765 at 12 wet mills. And what you do is you just take your finger and make a line, and you see how much it sags. Not much at all on this. It really didn't move at all. So we did that with all of those. And then I want to show you guys this too, because this is really cool. This is the high gloss on verticals. Now this is not buffed. But basically what we wanted to do was just to make sure that everything we did flat and vertical, so that we could compare and contrast to make sure that when you spray it vertically, it looks the same as you spray it flat. Another cool one we did was we were testing the coverage of the 688 over a couple different primers. And here you can see that it was white underneath, and this is the 688 one coverage over a white primer at 4 or 5 wet mils. These here were soft touch, silk effect, and 688 that we did over a stain. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, this is one right here I almost forgot. So new primer they have, it's called 85. And what we did here, which we kind of explained in another video, but I'll do a little quick overview here, is we took a solvent polyurethane, and on this panel over here, we didn't even clean it or anything, didn't sand it, and we shot it with the new primer. And one of the cool things with this primer is that you can shoot it, and because it looks so much like a top coat to begin with, you don't have to sand when you apply your final top coat. Now this has 851 on it, and we did a crosshatch adhesion right here on it. Had some slight pulling on it, but as you can see, even if I dig at it, really nothing much is coming off. Now this is also only 2 days old. We did a test after 1 day. Now we're doing 2 days. This is the panel that we finished, that we sanded only with a Scotch-Brite pad. And on this side, we sanded between top coats, and on this side, we didn't sand between top coats. And we found no difference in the adhesion with sanding in between top coats and not. But as you can see on these panels, with just a Scotch-Brite pad, nothing's coming off. So really great product. I'm looking forward to using that one. So I would just say some of the takeaways for me this week was I kind of got a new perspective on doing testing in order to have an accurate view from one or the other. So like what really stood out to me was how much a sealer in clear and in white can change the look of a top coat. And I was really impressed that Renner takes the time to do these kind of tests, and they look at each detail of the process. I know so many times we think, oh, we just want a high build primer that does this and you can put any top coat over it, but each step has an extreme effect on the outcome of what your final product looks like or the aesthetic value. And I had not really considered so much with the clear sealers as I had with white in the past. So just an amazing last couple of days, and I hope you guys enjoyed following along with us.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, a lot of these products should be available in the upcoming weeks. Most of them will be available after the first of the year, but I think I talked to Marco the other day, and there's a boat that's here, and they're just waiting to offload it. And so we're going to have available a lot of the products that I talked about in the videos and leading up to this. So I'm super excited. I'm especially excited about the 648. I've been running a lot of high coat, a lot of 790 high gloss, getting it dialed in. So if you have questions on those products, hit me up. And I'm also looking forward to the Silk Effect and some of these other really cool products that we got to see and that they're going to be bringing into the States. So we'll catch you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can catch me at Instagram at Eric Reason, TikTok Facebook, and LinkedIn. And remember, guys, test, don't guess. We'll catch you next week.